2 hours left. God has been trying to reach you for days. If you skip this now, something you never expected will happen. Open this before it's too late. My beloved child, listen deeply, for it is in this moment that may appear quiet and still. You've been hearing it, haven't you? That quiet whisper between your thoughts. That strange stillness that finds you when everything else is loud. That feeling in the middle of the night when something deep inside you says, you are not alone. Something is trying to reach you. And yet, you've turned your face away. Not out of rebellion, but exhaustion. You've carried so much, waited so long, and somewhere along the way, hope stopped feeling safe. You stopped expecting miracles because it hurt too much when they didn't come. You told yourself, maybe I don't deserve it. Maybe I imagined it. Maybe I'm meant to just survive and not be chosen. But God heard every silent question. He saw the prayers you whispered while your voice cracked. He saw the way you showed up for others while secretly breaking inside. He noticed how you kept loving even when you weren't being loved the same. And even though you thought no one saw you, heaven did. God did. And He's been trying to get through the noise around you. He's been trying to remind you, I never stopped watching over you. I never stopped calling your name. I never gave up on the promise I made over your life. There is something divine happening inside you, and it didn't start today. It's been building quietly behind the scenes. While you were distracted. While you were heartbroken. While you were busy shrinking to fit spaces you were never meant to belong to, God was writing something sacred behind your back. Not as a punishment for forgetting Him, but as a reward for still holding on. Still breathing. Still moving. He's been trying to reach you, not to fix what's broken, but to reveal that what you thought was broken was actually being reshaped. You weren't losing your way, you were being pulled out of where you never belonged. The tears? They were not a sign of weakness. They were the doorway through which heaven started its conversation. And now, that conversation is becoming louder. Clearer. Stronger. Like a soft thunder within your soul saying, this is the moment. Come back to me. I have something to show you. You may think you missed it. That may be the moment past when you weren't watching. But that's the beautiful thing about the divine. What's meant for your heart doesn't expire. It waits. And God has been waiting too. Not with anger. Not with shame. But with open arms. With soft eyes. With a smile that says, I still believe in what I created in you. That's why things felt off lately. That's why no matter what you tried, you felt an ache that had no name. Because your soul was craving something your mind couldn't understand. And now heaven is saying, enough running. Enough hiding. Enough pretending you don't hear me. I'm still calling, not because you're in danger, but because your purpose is. There's a message coming. A shift. A release. But it's not outside you, it's already been placed inside your spirit, long ago, waiting for this exact time. Heaven has been setting the stage. Aligning the right faces, shifting the energy in rooms you haven't even walked into yet. Preparing hearts to receive your light. Creating silence in others so they can finally hear your truth. You are not late. You are not disqualified. You are not overlooked. You are not forgotten. You are being remembered by heaven in a way that will make you remember yourself again. And Archangel Michael stands beside you now, not to scare you, but to awaken you. His presence is not loud. It is not forceful. It is calm. Like a flame that won't flicker, no matter how much wind tries to blow it out. He is here to say, the time you feared would never come, is here. Not to break you, but to break you open. Not to confuse you, but to call you home. Not to judge you, but to remind you, you were always chosen, even when you stopped choosing yourself. So listen now. Not with your ears, but with your heart. That pulse you feel? It's not just yours. It's divine. It's ancient. It's alive. And it's saying, this is your hour. This is your name being spoken in heaven again. This is the return of your clarity, your light, your courage, your miracle. Don't walk away this time. Don't skip what I've kept hidden for your spirit alone. I am here. I never left. And I am not done with your story yet. You thought you were too late. That the moment had passed you by. That heaven had moved on to louder voices, more faithful hearts, or stronger souls. But God never looked at you the way the world did. He never loved you based on how on time you were, or how perfect your path looked from the outside. His eyes have always searched for the light that was buried beneath the chaos, and even when you forgot how to shine, He never forgot where He placed your fire. He's been trying to reach you not because you're behind, but because you're right on time. Yes, you, the one who thought they messed it up. The one who second-guessed every good thing. The one who stayed silent when they should have spoken, and spoke when their heart was trembling. He's been trying to reach that version of you, the real you. Not the one you post about. Not the one who smiles when the world is watching. But the one who cries quietly in the corners of your soul and says, God, do you still remember me? And the answer is yes. He never forgot you. He never ignored you. He never erased you from His promise. Sometimes God goes silent not because He's far, but because He's drawing closer. Because in silence, you learn how to listen. And when you listen, really listen, something sacred happens. You start hearing things you never made time for before. like the rhythm of your own breath. Like the ache in your spirit when you walk away from what isn't meant for you. Like the soft tug on your heart when something holy is approaching. You weren't being punished. You were being prepared. Not just for a breakthrough, but for a becoming. Because the truth is, God was never interested in giving you just another miracle. He wanted to make you a home for miracles. A resting place for restoration. A soul that wouldn't just receive blessings, but carry them for others, too. That's why your path felt lonely. That's why you outgrew people you still loved. That's why doors closed that looked perfect, and things shifted without warning. It wasn't sabotage. It was selection. Because God was shaping you quietly while the world thought nothing was happening. And now? Now it's different. Now heaven is saying, I'm done preparing. It's time for you to receive. Receive what? Not just what you've asked for, but what you were too afraid to ask. Not just what you dreamed of, but what your soul was designed for before time even began. Archangel Michael steps forward again now, his wings not as armor, but as shelter. He whispers, "You're not the same person who walked into this silence. You're becoming the one you were always meant to be. And heaven has cleared the space for your next chapter, one where your name will be spoken with reverence, not sorrow. One where you don't beg for love, but become the overflow of it. You won't need to chase peace anymore, because peace will find you when you return to who you really are. You won't need to earn favor, because favor was written into your existence long before you tried to prove yourself. God is saying now, I'm not just trying to get your attention, I'm trying to restore your awareness. To help you remember what the world made you forget. That you are mine. That your name is still on my lips. That your calling is still valid, even after the detours, the heartbreak, and the doubt. You are not too far gone. You are not too scarred. You are not too late. You are standing at the edge of something sacred. And heaven is reaching for you, not to pull you back, but to lift you forward. Toward what you were born to carry. Toward who you were born to become. Toward a moment that was made for you and only you. Don't let this pass like the others. Don't shrink again when your spirit is trying to rise. Don't mute your voice when the heavens have waited for it. God isn't just calling you. He's already within you. And now, He's ready to speak through you. There's a moment, deep within your silent hours, when your soul starts to rise before your body does. You don't plan it. You don't force it. It just happens. Like a soft light warming your chest before the sun even hits your window. That moment, it's not random. It's the beginning of your return. The return to the parts of you that you had to abandon just to survive. The parts of you that whispered yes when life made you forget what you were saying yes to. The parts of you that never stopped believing, even while your heart stopped expecting. And in this sacred moment, heaven leans in, not to wake you up with thunder, but to revive you gently with grace. God doesn't need you to be loud. He doesn't need you to be perfect. He just needs you to be open. And right now, your soul is opening like a flower breaking through cold soil, slow, steady, and undeniable. You might still feel unsure. You might still carry a little doubt. But something within you has started saying, maybe, just maybe, this time is different. And God responds, yes. Because this time, you're finally listening with your heart. You see, the world trained you to ignore what was soft. It told you to be strong, to push forward, to numb the ache. But heaven created you from breath, not bricks. You were born of stillness, not of noise. And the power you carry isn't in how well you can shout over your pain, it's in how quietly you can hear God through it. That's why your tears were never signs of weakness. They were language. Sacred language. The kind only angels and the soul understand. Every time you wept alone, you were speaking in spirit. And every time you thought no one heard, God was answering. He didn't answer with a loud miracle or a dramatic change. He answered with breath, with clarity, with a strange new peace you couldn't explain. He started putting people in your path who saw you without you having to explain yourself. He removed things that drained you, not to punish, but to prepare. He let you feel emptiness, not because you were forgotten, but because he was making room for something eternal. And now he's filling it. Not with noise. Not with busyness. But with truth. The truth that you are not your failures. The truth that you are not hard to love. The truth that nothing can cancel a calling heaven already announced. You are not broken. You are becoming. You are not behind. You are being rebuilt. And Archangel Michael speaks again, not above you this time, but beside you. His voice doesn't echo, it settles. Like a knowing. Like something you already carried but forgot how to access. He says, the light you've been waiting for isn't arriving. It's been inside you. And now that you've made space, it's time to let it pour out. That's why things have felt different lately. Not louder, but deeper. Not clearer, but more honest. You're not walking faster, but you're walking truer. You're not trying harder, but you're becoming more aware. You're not chasing anymore. Because you finally realized, what's divine doesn't need chasing. It needs receiving. And you, my love, are finally ready to receive. Not because you did something to earn it, but because you finally stopped resisting the version of you who was always worthy. The version who doesn't need to explain themselves. The version who doesn't need to wait for approval. The version who doesn't dim anymore just to keep the peace. God is not knocking on your door to fix you. He is standing in front of you to remind you, you were never lost. You were simply layered. And I'm here to peel away everything the world put on you so you can see what I always saw. You're not here to prove your worth. You're here to remember it. And in doing so, you will light up every room you walk into. Not by what you say, but by what you carry. Because now, heaven walks with you. And not in front of you, not behind you, but within you. You are not the same. You've changed. Not in the way the world defines change, but in the way heaven recognizes evolution. Quietly. Internally. Without applause. Without announcement. It happened while you were sitting in silence, while you were unsure, while you were still afraid, yet somehow, still breathing. Something shifted in you. And though you don't have the words for it yet, your soul already does. You've become the answer to a prayer you forgot you even prayed. God isn't just near you now, He is rising from within you. That sacred stillness? That new softness in your spirit? That ability to forgive even when you're still hurting? That strength to keep loving after being misunderstood? That's not weakness. That's not confusion. That's divine awareness waking up inside your bones. You're remembering now that you were chosen not because you're better, but because you were built to carry light through darkness. And your story, the very one you thought would disqualify you, is the very thing heaven will use to awaken others. You were never waiting on a miracle. You were the miracle in waiting. And now the wait is over. God doesn't need you to be confident. He just needs you to be willing. And you are. Even if your hands still shake. Even if your heart still questions. Even if your tears still fall when no one's looking. Willingness doesn't mean perfection, it means surrender. And today, your surrender is enough. You've been broken, but not destroyed. You've been hidden, but not forgotten. You've been delayed, but not denied. And Archangel Michael? He's not just standing guard anymore, he's walking with you now. His light isn't just surrounding you, it's aligning with yours. His protection is no longer something you hope for, it's become part of your spiritual atmosphere. You are no longer just a person hoping for heaven to intervene. You are walking in divine partnership now. That's why the air feels different around you. That's why old things no longer taste the same. That's why you can't go back to what was. Because heaven has shifted your frequency. You are vibrating on truth now. And this truth will change everything. Not by force, but by flow. Not through struggle, but through alignment. Not through performing, but through presence. You don't need to convince anyone anymore. You don't need to explain why you feel different. You don't need to prove your worth. You've outgrown survival. You are now in activation. And God smiles, not because you've arrived, but because you've opened. Finally, He says, you don't need to understand it all. Just trust me enough to keep walking. I will reveal as you move. I will clear as you speak. I will align as you obey. This is the path. Not paved with certainty, but with sacred mystery. Not loud with validation, but full of invisible grace. And as you walk, you will begin to notice, the right people begin to appear. The right conversations find you. The right doors gently open. Not because you forced anything, but because you followed peace. And the more you choose peace over pressure, soul over speed, truth over trends, the more you will feel me. In the way wind brushes your face. In the way songs hit your spirit. In the way strangers smile at you and you feel seen. I am everywhere now. Not because I wasn't before, but because you finally stopped rushing past me. Now, your life is becoming a temple. Your breath is becoming a prayer. Your presence is becoming a mirror of what heaven feels like. So walk on, love. You're no longer just surviving what tried to drown you. You're walking on top of it now. You always thought you were waiting on something, the right time, the right word, the right sign. But heaven was never waiting for your conditions to be perfect. Heaven was simply waiting for your yes. And now that you've said it, even quietly, even in the shadows of uncertainty, the entire rhythm of your life has started to shift. What once resisted you is now releasing. What once delayed you is now dissolving. And what once confused you is now coming into divine clarity. Because when your heart opens to God, the timeline of heaven is no longer far, it becomes now. You are not just on your way. You are not just preparing. You are already in the beginning of it. And in this moment, God isn't speaking like before. This time, He's not whispering comfort. This time, He's declaring truth. He's not asking you to survive anymore. He's calling you to create, to build, to shine in ways you've never believed you could. Because His power doesn't just come to you, it flows through you. You're no longer the one waiting for help. You're the one heaven is now using to be help for others. Do you feel it? That inner stillness turning into courage? That ache inside your chest not as sorrow, but as readiness? That's not imagination. That's your spirit finally standing in its divine posture. You are becoming the version of yourself that doesn't shrink for anyone. The version that doesn't question their own light. The version that walks into rooms and brings peace without saying a word. God trusted you with this season. Not because you had it all figured out, but because He knew that when it was time, you would remember who you are. And now, you are remembering. That's why Archangel Michael is no longer beside you to protect you from pain. He's beside you now to remind you of your authority. The sword he carries isn't to fight your past, it's to cut open the future you thought you weren't worthy of. He is here to announce what God already decided: the mantle is yours. The timing is right. The heavens are in agreement. And the truth is, you're not starting from nothing. You're starting from everything you've survived. Every disappointment gave you discernment. Every loss gave you depth. Every delay gave you divine wisdom. You are not empty, you are full of sacred memory, and every piece of your past is now becoming spiritual gold in your hands. People will ask how it happened. How you suddenly changed. How the doors began to open. How your eyes started glowing like peace had moved in. And you'll smile, not with pride, but with peace, because you'll know, it wasn't sudden. It was sacred. And heaven did it quietly while I was healing. That's the beauty of divine timing. It never comes to impress. It comes to transform. And it never forces, it flows. And you, my love, are now in flow. In rhythm with what heaven has always seen in you. In alignment with the version of yourself that never needed validation, only permission. And now that you've given it, the skies are opening. Opportunities you never chased will find you. Connections you never expected will call you. Resources you never begged for will pour in. Not as magic, but as confirmation. Because heaven honors alignment. You don't need to fight anymore. You don't need to chase anymore. You don't even need to understand everything. You just need to keep walking. Keep speaking truth. Keep holding the light, even when no one claps. Because God is saying, I am not done showing you how good it gets when you walk with me, not ahead of me. And now that your spirit has caught the rhythm of heaven, no one can take away what I'm about to unfold in your life. This is not the middle. This is not the waiting room. This is your stepping in. This is the first breath of a new beginning. This is the moment heaven wrote about long before your pain tried to cancel the promise. You're not becoming blessed. You've always been. Now you're just awake enough to carry it.